Today in the Boot Guy, we are looking at the RigTech 8-inch comp toe boot by Ariat Work. It seems that there's a lot of this Western-inspired work boot stuff going on out there today. And most of the time, they're not really building really good work boots. They're just taking the characteristics that exist in the Western world and they're applying it to older styles. Well, Ariat Work took it a lot further than that when they came out with the RigTech boot. Now, when they were designing this boot, they started right down here at the sole. They used this extremely slip-resistant sole, and this is that type of PU material that is off the charts when it comes to being slip resistant. Mainly it's the compound, mainly it's the softness of the sole that allows you to get a grip in whether it's a wet or oily surface, plus all the little design parts that happen inside the sole. Now, as always, it's Ariat, so you're going to find that fork shank, that ATS shank that gives you a lot of support. Especially when you're doing a boot with a 90-degree heel, you need a real shank to support that part of the foot. And Ariat, being a Western company, understanding what it's like to build a boot with a heel, they didn't miss nothing by using the shank there. Now, it is a hybrid, so there's characteristics here that are strictly Western. And the square toe really stands out, and the ornamentation on the square toe really stands out there. Now, the nice part about Ariat using this square toe and using all this Western aesthetic is that they're using their really beautiful square toe here. So that means you're getting a lot of room inside that comp toe. It's not a pointed comp toe. So there's a lot going on here that's going to allow a guy with a wider foot to get a really comfortable slip-resistant boot. Now, this boot by no means is waterproof. There is no waterproof membrane. It's not treated. It's not sealed. None of that is going on. But it is a fully welted boot, so that means if you really fell in love with it, if it held up really well, you'd be able to put a new sole on here. By making a fully welted boot, what they've made is a very comfortable platform standing boot, because now you're standing over the sole and you're not standing inside the sole. You're giving yourself a really good platform to stand for long hours in. The mixture of the beautiful leather material and the Cordura adds to the weight of the boot because it is pretty light. Now, slip-resistant soles by nature are lightweight, but when you start adding Cordura and you start adding lightweight mesh inside the boot, you're really creating a lightweight, comfortable, all-day 8-inch boot. Now, just because it's 8-inch, you shouldn't think winter boots. It's not a winter boot. It's not insulated by any means. It probably wouldn't carry you down to those sub-zero temperatures. But a boot like this for those really cold 30-degree mornings with a nice pair of wool socks, you would have no problems keeping warm with it. And don't let the Cordura throw you off. Cordura, by nature, is a nylon material, so it's going to shed a little water and it's going to retain a little heat. So if you needed something to keep you a little bit warmer, it would be fine. And at the same time, the same principles that go into all that, it's actually a nice hot weather boot too, because now you get all the protection of an 8-inch boot and you don't get all that heavy insulation built into the boot. So in the warmer weather, all you should really have to do is wear a lighter weight sock and you're going to be really comfortable. Now, inside this boot, what you're going to find is that beautiful leather-lined heel that you find in most Western boots, which is going to hold your heel into place. And like most Western boots, Ariat built the back section of the boot like that. So as you wear it, as you move around in it, this heel starts to collapse and form around your ankle, so you get a really good secure fit once this boot is broken in. Now, when it comes to Ariat and it comes to insoles, the ATS insole is probably one of their most comfortable insoles for a work boot. With the gel heel, the gel forefoot, and the beautiful die-cut square toe shape, this thing fits ideally inside the boot. And since this fits great inside here, what you get is you get a really comfortable footbed for you to stand on all day. Like I said before, the soft sole, the way you stand over the sole, you mix that with this insole, you get something that's really comfortable. Now, about size and fit, like everything that Ariat makes, it kind of fits the same. If you've worn an Ariat pull-on boot, whether it be a casual, whether it be a work pull-on boot, or whether it be one of their lace boots, their platform forms are pretty much the same across the board. The only time you ever run into any real issues is when you start adding the composition toes to the boots. Now, they understand that they need to make a different size boot when you start adding that comp toe, and so they did it. So if you wear a size 11 in anything from Ariat, more than likely if you got to move into a safety toe, it's not going to be a problem. You can buy your size. Now, the one thing that I don't like about this boot is it doesn't have the waterproof membrane, but that's my personal feeling on it. I wish it had that waterproof membrane built in, because everything else about this boot would make a great hunting boot or a great all-day work boot in a wetter environment in warmer temperatures. But Ariat knows who they're building their boots for, and so when they built the RigTech, they knew who their end user was going to be. So that's the RigTech 8-inch comp toe by Ariat. Hey, if you're currently wearing any of the RigTech boots with this beautiful slip-resistant sole, please comment below. Also, let guys know if you have the comp toe versions, how much room is inside that comp toe. Did you find it to be one of the most comfortable comp toes that you've ever tried on when you were fitting them in the shop? Hey, if you're interested in seeing some detailed photos of this beautiful boot, there are a lot of things going on that I have not talked about because it's more of a Western aesthetic. If you want to see the photos of all these little parts and pieces, remember to swing by thebootguy.com. There I'll have a blog posting titled RigTech 8-inch, and in there I will have all those detailed photos. Hey, please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. It really helps out. And remember, if you're on Instagram and or Twitter, you can always follow me there. All week long, I find interesting boots like the RigTech 8-inch. I take some photos of it. I take some photos of them out in the wilds, and I put it out there for you guys to see. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of these RigTechs and you just got a few questions about size and fit, whether or not it's the right boot for your job, remember, you can always shoot me over an email. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.